Yo, how y'all doing today? I know it's been a hot minute, but bro, I was on a training arc, bro. My art has gotten so much better. Like, you gotta understand, we gotta put the progress before the progress, but now we're back. And I got so much stuff that I want to talk about. Let's start with the first thing. Rumor mill, bro. Astral Chain 2 might be in the works. Like, of course it doesn't surprise me because there is a high demand for a sequel within, like, you know, the Astral Chain fan base. And with the Switch 2 coming out, it might just be the perfect time. But what does slightly concern me is, you know, what's been going on with Platinum and the Astral Chain director actually leaving. I don't know how they'd handle the game, but I will choose to suspend all that doubt just this once and remain optimistic. But with that aside, let's get to the main thing, bro. Ninja Gaiden. I haven't seen this type of IP revival ever, really. This is absolutely insane. To come out of the gate and just straight up say that you're making another Ninja Gaiden, and then on that same exact day, available for immediate purchase and straight to Game Pass, you drop a Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. That is absolutely crazy. And I'm not new to the like Ninja Gaiden series or anything. I'm well aware of the differences between Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma, and Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. While I'm overall satisfied with Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, I do hope later on in the future, maybe with mods or maybe in an update, they do add a lot of the missing content from the game and maybe, you know, switch up the enemy spawn rate. All things considered though, this is a really solid game. So good that it actually made me go to some hack and slash games that I never really put a lot of time into in the past. But while trekking back to those games, I did notice some discourse buzzing around with Ninja Gaiden. And it's the same discourse that's been plaguing the community for many years, but it is indeed understandable. See, the issue with Ninja Gaiden 2 Black and the reason people have reservations about the game and, you know, the re-release of Ninja Gaiden 2 overall is the fact that they keep releasing different versions of the game that aren't like the original version with all the content packaged into it. You see, with every new release of Ninja Gaiden 2, something seems to be cut from the game, whether it be an extra costume or certain voice lines or certain events that trigger within the stage for some unknown reason. And while you may be wondering why fans aren't just, you know, taking the thing that is straight up given to them since it's been such a long drought and they release a remake for a game along with a new title within the same year, you seem to think that that will alleviate some of the pain that fans do have. But the issue is the fact that this isn't Koei Tecmo's first time saying they're gonna release a definitive version of Ninja Gaiden 2, which is the game in the series that people like the most, and then giving us a product that is lesser than. Now, me personally, I am perfectly fine with Ninja Gaiden 2 Black because I was perfectly fine with Sigma, and this just seems to be a version of Sigma with slight things cut, but they aren't that bad overall to me. But, you know, if you're a fan of the game, if you've been sticking with it for a long time and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting for that definitive Ninja Gaiden 2 experience, then I do understand why people would be very upset. But a bigger overarching thing that actually makes me upset that doesn't have much to do with Ninja Gaiden as a whole is the current state of Platinum Games. I'm honestly surprised Platinum is even developing Ninja Gaiden 4 in the first place. And I know that sounds crazy without any context, but let me reassure you that has nothing to do with Platinum as a whole. They are perfectly fine. They're a great team, right? But people have been leaving Platinum left and right, and that includes a lot of directors for very big beloved Platinum titles. And if I'm not mistaken, that includes the Astral Chain director, the Bayonetta 3 director, and the Metal Gear Rising director. As a whole, Platinum seems to be getting dealt the wrong cards over and over again, and I feel like if Ninja Gaiden 4 isn't up to standard, that would definitely affect their future in a very negative way, because I saw that Platinum developing the game definitely threw a lot of people off because they're so used to Team Ninja just straight up developing the Ninja Gaiden game. But I saw this as an absolute win. I feel like Ninja Gaiden really fits Platinum Games' game design philosophy, and I don't think they'll compromise the core of Ninja Gaiden while also adding an extra layer with the way they handle combos within their games. If anything, I'd probably be more inclined to worry about the story, but the story of Ninja Gaiden games isn't too complex usually, so that's neither here nor there. That's like missing a wide open layup. I just don't want this to be Platinum's send-off game because I know they have so much more to offer. I accidentally bumped my mic when I said that. I really hope that didn't pick up. But yeah, this means so much more than just getting another Ninja Gaiden installment. This is low-key life or death for the studio. So I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed, and I'm definitely gonna keep my entire body in a pretzel for Astral Chain 2. Honestly, there's so much riding on the back of Ninja Gaiden right now. It's reviving a beloved series, of course, but it's also in a way just like pumping the genre of hack and slash games on life support just a little bit. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, you know, put me onto some games if I'm missing out on like newer ones, of course, but I feel like overall the genre of hack and slash games just isn't as prevalent as it used to be. Maybe I'm just missing certain titles, but even when they do release, it doesn't necessarily feel like a hack and slash game. If anything, it feels like some Dynasty Warriors-esque game or a beat 'em up type of game, but like in a 3D plane, of course. And I know I might be alone here. This might be a controversial take of some kind, but I do miss the combat of older God of War games. Naturally, to be more specific, I'm talking about God of War 3, of course. Not that I think any of the newer God of War games are bad in any way, I just do miss that type of gameplay. And that's not even really a full-on hack and slash type of game. That just has hack and slash elements, but they're presented in such a way where you might as well consider that a hack and slash game at that point. I mean, I was playing Metal Gear Rising earlier this week, and I was like, I just miss this type of feeling when playing games like this. Like, dog, there's this one indie game I was looking at. It was a hack and slash game. It's called Kijutsu Rider, and it's slated to release early next year. It's super stylized and it looks really cool. I think it needs more time in the oven for sure, but it can shape up to be something really great. And I know y'all heard those rumors of that Devil May Cry remake. I think that is huge if it's true, but if they do remake a Devil May Cry, I don't know if I want it to be Devil May Cry 1 or 2. I definitely don't think they should touch 3. I think 3 is fine. I don't think they should touch 4 either, but between the two, I think I'm more leaning to Devil May Cry 2 because I think there's a lot more work they need to do with that game specifically. Devil May Cry 1 is also a little rough, you know, and it hasn't aged the best, but I do think Devil May Cry 2 deserves it much more. But in all honesty, what we really need is FromSoft to lock in and either give us a direct sequel to Sekiro, because that true ending leads into such a perfect second title, but we just never get anything when it comes to Sekiro or any title similar to it, or just give us something similar to Sekiro in gameplay philosophy at the very least. I think FromSoft is extremely versatile when they get the chance to be versatile. It's almost as if they make things other than Souls-like games. But that's enough of my little yap session. Naturally, I strayed off the normal point of discussion, but you know, that's in classic canon fashion, bro. You already know. How about instead we double it up today in tradition and we move on to my favorite part of the video, the part of the video where I put you onto some songs, bands, or just artists in general that you may have not heard of before to spice up your palette a little bit or just give you a break from listening to the same old stuff over and over again. And by popular demand, I did end up making a Spotify playlist with all my song recommendations. It'll be in the description for your convenience. And no, I will not be making a YouTube or SoundCloud version because I just don't feel like it, I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's not waste any more time. The first artist we got is Aqua Rifa or Aquarifa. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I don't want to not do it justice. But this is an alternative J-rock band and they're pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But they're criminally underrated. I don't know how they sit at just 4K monthly listeners. Shout out to my friend Kino for finding this, bro. I swear to God, he finds like every single gem. I get put on fraud watch more and more every day, I swear. But dog, I was listening to their album dropped in 2013. It's in Japanese, so I don't really know the official translation. But using Google Translate, it said that it was called Blame It on the Moonlight. Now, if I'm wrong, please don't fry me. That aside though, this album is amazing. The first song was a little ambient track, you know, you had your acoustic guitar, your reverbed vocals, but then when the second track hit, I'm not gonna lie, it caught me off guard. Like, I got jump scared a little bit. No transition, no warning, no nothing. The jump from the first track to Alice Blue is insane. And it's like I had a sixth sense because like I felt like something was about to happen, right? I was like, this is an alternative J-rock band. There's no way that this is just gonna be ambient the entire album, especially if it's a Kino recommendation. And then that guitar hits instantly, and right then and there, I knew that I had to go back and listen to this band's entire discography to get the full picture. But the best song off the project for me personally is easily Switch. The first 3 seconds had me thinking it was like a Trico song, and then the drop came in, and it was absolutely crazy. Also, one thing about this song, the bassist for this band is is cracked, bro. Like, I really love the bass guitar in this song specifically, and in this band in general. Also, the way they did the bridge in this song, I come back to this song for the bridge alone. Like, the way they use the different guitars to have different transitions and pan her vocals in different ways that lead right back into the drop. Beautiful. Highly recommend this band, bro. Aqua, Rifa, and go back and check out their full discography if you really like the album. Next up, we got an artist that I kind of wanted to cover on the channel for a while now, but you know, we do a bit of trolling. We got the queen of the underground, in my opinion, bro. We got Steppy, aka It's Brokey, and I've been listening to her for a long time. This is one of the most versatile artists that I've ever seen, one of the most underrated artists that I've ever seen, and one of the most talented / skillful artists I've ever seen. I remember when Brokey was just doing Rebecca Sugar covers, and now look how far we've come. On Spotify, she split like the It's Brokey and Steppy side of her music, but on SoundCloud, it's all mixed under one account, which is pretty understandable. I mean, even as her Brokey persona, like her music is absolutely amazing, but on the Steppy persona, that's a little bit more my taste. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure like the Steppy side isn't really a persona necessarily. That's like more of a transparent side of Brokey. I could be wrong. Let me stop theorizing about Brokey. She just dropped an album on the Steppy account, but before we get into that, I want to talk about a song that I really like from her. We got Why Try, and I'm pretty sure the like instrumental she used from this is from Nurture, because I'm like 90% sure I downloaded the same exact instrumental pack. She absolutely slid on this though. Like, flow aside, being able to keep that vocal clarity and the way she delivers is definitely like over the top a little bit in like a good way. She like forces her notes out in a way that sounds really pleasing to the ear. Like, I'm really impressed that she managed to find so many pockets on an instrumental as crazy as this one, because it goes all over the place. She hits every single note so casually. Like, I don't know how she does it, I'm not gonna lie, but the glaze on that track aside, her latest album 20 is really good, and we're gonna get straight into it. My favorite song off of this project is KMS, for obvious reasons. I don't want to get demonetized by saying the actual thing. I think both this song and By Panic just show how good she is at utilizing autotune. To have it set so low to the point where it's gonna like activate on every single note she hits is very impressive, because she actually manages to hit every single note because her vocal is like so dynamic. Because usually if you have like the auto-tune set to this and you have those parts in between where you're not really being too melodic, it'll sound like it's dragging a little bit, but she over delivers in a way where it works in tandem with the auto-tune settings to just produce this amazing sound. And I can't really properly just like give the album one genre. It's definitely like pop influence with the sound choice. I mean, there's like melodic rap, there's boom bap, there's hyper pop, there's rock, and then you have the different subgenres of rock. There's indie rock, and then there's like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, you just gotta listen to it for yourself. It's really good. And you might as well dive into Steppy's entire discography on the Spotify for that matter. And actually just scratch that. Just listen to all of Brokey's music. She's done so many different types of genres and styles of music to the point where you could just go down to Discog and just find something you like, which makes me always anticipate the next drop from her, whether it be a project, a single, or something on the throwaway account. Either way, go peep Steppy. And with that, our time together comes to a crisp close. But wait, there's more. Could I interest you in joining the official Canon Core Discord server? We do indeed have crab legs. We also have exclusive previews into new stuff that I'm working on, just like this new outro. I don't want another mental. I don't want another mental break. You keep me high silently. You leave me scared silently. Silently killing myself. Constantly searing my cuts.